Alright, here we go. So we're getting ready to leave the end of January, and we're going to be turning the apartment back over to our landlord. It was a blank slate when we got it. We turned it into an edible jungle. So that's what I'm in the middle of doing this week, is digging up all the plants. As you can see, it's kind of been digging up all the moringa trees. We just got the little ones left to go. We got to get some more planter buckets to put them all in. Dug up a big old giant rosemary here. Been clearing out the herb garden, most of the dandelions, some of the scallions, things like that. Left a little bit to eat on for the last month. I got to get the sugar cane moved. Show you what I've been doing around here. This is our rosemary, and I just got it planted into this bucket down here. We're going to try and get all these plants moved, so that way, I guess a few of you that's been watching the show pretty regular, what we're doing is we hope to drive the bus around until we find a little plot of land to start our homestead. So we're trying to save some of these plants, so that way we have something to start with. But this is some of our moringa trees. As you can see, they're taller than I am. They're pretty bare right now due to me just pulling off the last bit of the leaves for the transplant. Helps keep them from wilting a little bit. Plus, if they were to wilt, at least I already have the leaves to go ahead and munch on. So I left a few just to keep the system nice and alive. But they're pretty sparse, but worked out well for the transplant. As you can see, none of them wilted. I even have blooms on this one, and the blooms aren't even tipped over or wilted or anything. They haven't opened yet, but at least they didn't wilt. So that's a good sign. All of them took the transplant well. I want to show you the roots on those when I get some more planter buckets to show how large the tubers are underground. I was pulling up root systems with tubers about that big around and about a foot long. I accidentally cut a couple of them off, but it didn't bother the plants at all. But we got to get rid of all these large bananas, all the small bananas. We're probably going to sell the large bananas, and they're looking kind of rough due to the cool weather, starting to drop their leaves down. But I leave them on myself. It acts as a trunk insulator during the cold nights, keeps the trunks warm, and usually helps keep them from freezing completely. We are in Florida, but they still have a tendency to freeze here. And just slowly been getting rid of all the plants. I'm fixing to rent a U-Haul truck and haul them all over to an empty lot in town that my parents have, and that's where we'll keep them until we find our place. But y'all see all the places we stop and look at along the way trying to find a homestead. We're really on the cheap side, so we're trying to look for something inexpensive, maybe even something we can lease for several years. And we want to do all edibles and all superfood and all medicinal plants. So but that's what I'm up to this week. Just wanted to keep y'all posted. And like I say, it's kind of a wreck around here today. This jungle's getting sparser by the minute. But as soon as we get some more planters, I'll get back to y'all, and we'll see you soon. Alright, we're back at it this morning. I've got some old 5-gallon buckets I'm going to use to put a couple of these moringas in. But I told y'all I wanted to show y'all. This one's about waist high. It's been cut down a few times to harvest the leaves. Trunk's about 3/4 inch around. I'm going to dig this up and show y'all how big the root bulbs are. Oh, but this is another edible. A lot of people think this is monkey grass or something like that. It's actually called spiderwort. You can eat the nice tender young grass shoots. It'll shoot up stems that have light purple violet flowers on them. You can eat the flowers, throw them in salads. You can actually eat the stalk and roast them like asparagus. But they're just coming back in this winter, so let's get this moringa dug up and I'll show you the root. Get all this mulch pulled back. You want to dig far away from these when you got to retransplant them, because you never know where the tuber is going to be. This is just a small one. So you can see how you got that big giant tuber on the bottom. Some of the ones I took up yesterday had 3 or 4 of them, and they'd be 2 or 3 times as large. But this is why you don't give moringas much water, because that tuber holds the moisture that the plant needs for itself. So they require very little water due to that. But we'll take this around a 5-gallon bucket and show you how we get this thing transplanted without it going in shock. Alright, we have the bucket, I guess about 2/3 full of the soil I'm going to use. Put the moringa tree in there. And we're just going to fill that up with the dirt the rest of the way. Just slowly start shaking. Like I say, moringas don't require a lot of water. And most plants you want to, when you replant them, you always want to water them in to make sure there's no air around the roots. But with moringas not needing much water, basically you're just going to shake all that dirt around the root system. And you don't really want to use wet dirt, just moist so it crumbles and it'll wrap around them roots. Because if you water it in, you got a better chance of that moringa going into shock. As you can see, none of my leaves are wilting, and none of the other leaves wilted on any of those other ones. So it really works well. But if you really want to get a good transplant of moringas, do it like this with just moist soil, not wet. That way it's nice and crumbly, and just shake it in around those roots. And you can do that 2 or 3 times. So that way you're absolutely sure that there's no air around those roots. That'll cause an air pocket, and that'll cause root rot. Especially if it does get a lot of water in an air pocket, you will definitely get root rot, and that'll kill your plants. But as you can see, we're slowly getting stuff done. Got all the herbs done. They're ready to go. Little avocados I started this year. They're doing pretty well even though it's winter. We've been trying to keep them warm on cold nights. But it's getting there. And the day before yesterday is when I did these moringas. And as you can tell, they aren't wilting at all. So they're looking good. Took the transplant well. But if y'all would, please like, subscribe, and share our channel. And stay tuned to Simple Life Bus for more. Have a great day.